Hello and welcome to Global News Factory. I'm your host Vikrant. We are covering three topics today. First, an explosive story from Ukraine. NATO mercenaries might now be in Russian captivity, and if this is true, this could be a PR disaster for NATO. We are hearing from Russian Defense Ministry that these mercenaries were targeted by Kiev forces and they were rescued by Russian forces. And then we show you a video which is Russia's polite response to Western sanctions. The railway route between Iran and Russia is operational now. I have more details to share. And in the end, we talk about Project Taiwan, Ukraine, and Pakistan of NATO to destabilize the three biggest economies of BRICS. Let's begin. Zelensky might be in real trouble. Why? Because men who might carry his dirty secrets are now in Russian hands. The Ministry of Defense in Moscow has dropped some very interesting lines, and Kiev won't like the script. Here is what they say happened. Russian forces claim they rescued a group of Ukrainian mercenaries in the Kharkiv region. One of the prisoners of war, Alexander Pakel, says something wild. He says Ukraine's own side hit them with heavy shelling. He even claims drones buzzed in, and even the Baba Yaga drone was also used against them. Let me show you the statement issued by Pakel through Russian Defense Ministry. I'm quoting him. They threw everything at us, even Baba Yaga threw shells at us. They are their own. No one answered on the radio. They said that the boys were in captivity, and half an hour later they started bombing us, unquote. Now, if true, that is not friendly fire, that is fire your friends. Now, let me be clear and fair. This could be Russian propaganda. War has more theater than Broadway. Prisoners say things, cameras roll, narratives get written, and yes, statements can be forced. So we keep that in mind. But let's also play out the other path. What if these claims are true? Suddenly, the fog of war looks like thick Delhi winter smog. We all know Ukraine's front lines are not just Ukrainian. Fighters from all over the world, from different countries, are there on the ground. Some are volunteers, some have very official badges tucked very unofficially in their pockets. In simple words, NATO fingerprints exist, but in gloves. The world has no clear number on how many NATO-linked fighters are inside Ukraine under the tag of mercenaries. But everyone knows this game, this script. Don't ask, don't tell, don't get captured. And that is the problem. Pokrovsk collapsed. It opened gaps. Fighters got stuck in pockets. If any of those stuck men carry Western passports and spicy resumes, that becomes a PR nightmare. Imagine the press conference, imagine the headlines, imagine the awkward cuff in Brussels. So if you are Kiev or a NATO planner and you fear a live capture, what is the cheapest solution for you? You do not let them get captured. You turn the zone into a blender. Later, blame Russia. The war gives you enough smoke to hide the fire. Is this cold? Yes. Is it new? No. Wars eat secrets for breakfast, and right now Moscow claims it has a plate full. If these prisoners really include men with stories to tell about who fights where, who commands what, who supplies whom, then Russian intelligence is looking at a buffet. Names, routes, call signs, payment trails, training camps, advisors, handlers. One honest testimony can flip a narrative, and 10 can break it. And this is why Kiev must be sweating. The risk is not just losing territory, the risk is losing control of the story. If the Russians put these men on camera and the dots connect to foreign units, the image of Ukraine as a pure national army gets dents, and dents turn into holes. Once the story leaks, you can patch it, spin it, paint it, but the shape stays bent. So what next? Watch for more videos, more testimonies, more details that feel too specific to be random. If more prisoners echo the same setup, we were attacked by our own side before capture, then the pattern becomes a paragraph, and paragraphs become reports, and reports become questions in parliaments. That is when the smiles disappear and the lawyers arrive. My friends, during wars, truth wears camouflage. Tonight, someone is peeling it off. Stay with us. The next few days may tell us who's been fighting, who's been hiding, and who's been lying. And yes, we will bring the popcorn again. Moving on, our second story comes with a video and a very loud whistle. Russia just sent its first full freight train to Iran on a brand new route. 62 containers, 12 days, around 9,000 kilometers through Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. No pit stops for lectures, just steel, wheels, and momentum. Watch this. While the West was busy giving sanction speeches, Moscow quietly let down Plan B, C, and D. You block one road, they build another. Picture Europe and the US with calculators, wondering how did they get there without us? Meanwhile, Russia and Iran are sipping tea and saying, next train leaves at 5. It is the geopolitical version of finding a back door to the party and showing up with the snacks. This is not just a train, it is a proof of concept. It plugs straight into the North-South Transport Corridor, or the INSTC, the big network that binds Russia, Iran, India, and Central Asia by ship, rail, and road. Think of it as a 7,200-kilometer shortcut that skips the long sea loop and waves politely at the Suez Canal from far away. Time saved, money saved, nerves saved. Your package arrives before your tracking app updates. For Russia-Iran trade, this is rocket fuel. For the region, it's a new spine. Farmers, factories, ports, and logistics hubs along the line will feel it. Cheaper routes mean more goods mean more business means more trains. Soon, those 62 containers will become 100, then 200, and someone in Brussels will say, interesting, which is diplomatic speak for uh-oh. And the message loud and clean. The train did not just move cargo, it moved the map. It told every trader from Astrakhan to Bandar Abbas to Mumbai, there is a faster lane now. It told every insurer and shipper prices can go south literally. And it told every policymaker who loves pressure points, please update your atlas. Moving on, the West has opened a new chapter. Project Ukraine was the trailer. Project Taiwan looks like the full movie. And the bonus track, Pakistan playing in surround sound. I have mentioned this before and I will say it again in plain words. Watch Ukraine, Taiwan, and Pakistan. These are pressure points the West uses to poke BRICS and hope the giant flinches. Let's start with the latest twist. The US Senate passed the big defense bill and it strongly encourages inviting Taiwan's Navy to join RIMPAC. RIMPAC is the world's largest naval exercise. Translation, hey Taiwan, bring your ships, let's make this normal. This is not a random invite to a weekend barbecue. This is step-by-step baseline shifting. No bases on the island, but plenty of flags in the water. It is how you move the line without saying you moved the line. Clever? Yes. Subtle? Not really. Washington is also nudging its allies like a pushy gym trainer. Japan, faster. South Korea, lift more. Australia, don't skip the leg day. Spend more. Yes, this is the order. Spend more on defense. Drill together. Talk contingency. All of these nations have been ordered to hike their defense spending, and these nations are complying as because they don't have any choice. And then the NATO boss drops a spicy theory. He links Taiwan to Europe's security. Interesting logic. He says if Beijing acts, Moscow opens another front in Europe. So, this is their logic. Kudos to them. Here is the core idea. The plan is to Ukrainize Taiwan, make it a constant pressure point, drain mainland China's time, money, and focus, distract its diplomacy, tangle its economy. The trick is to do all this while keeping US costs low and US risks lower. Taiwan is not sitting quiet either. In September, Taipei showed off a missile made with a US partner. Think of it as a smart, cheap cruise missile, budget airline, but it still lands on target. The message is simple. We are gearing up. We are not waiting. In November, Trump himself added his own line about consequences if China invades. And American officials are hinting, you can see on your screen, a report from Reuters that arms approvals for Taiwan will jump again in the next few years. You don't need a crystal ball to read this, you just need eyes. My friends, money talks and budgets shout. Washington is telling Taiwan's opposition parties do not block higher defense spending. Meanwhile, Taiwan's leadership is pushing to raise defense outlays to around 3% of GDP. More defense spending will make the world peaceful. This is their logic. That is serious money. That is not a parade budget. That is we are planning for a rainy decade budget. So why this build-up in Taiwan? Simple. The West wants Beijing busy, boxed, and bogged. If you cannot beat a rival straight up, you stretch them. You will pull them east, you will pull them west, and you hope something snaps in the middle. It is geopolitics by rubber band. So where does Pakistan fit? Think of the chessboard. You pressure Russia through Ukraine, you pressure China through Taiwan, and you keep a hand near India's neighborhood through Pakistan, all set to stir whenever the script needs drama. Pakistan attacking Afghanistan, Pakistan attacking India. Just connect the dots. 3 levers, 1 goal: delay BRICS momentum, raise costs, and keep the global south, global majority, from settling into a new balance that does not orbit Washington or Brussels. Now, the big picture. If Taiwan becomes the next never-ending crisis, the region pays the price. We will pay the price. Trade routes jitter, insurance costs jump, markets sweat, and the arms dealers, oh, they hit the gold mine. For the West, this looks like grand plan. For Asia, this looks like a headache with missiles. India, China, Russia, the global south, the global majority, everyone sees the pattern. If you want to join our orchestra, we will turn up the noise outside your house. So, my dear friends, watch the map, watch the budgets, watch the drills. Ukraine was the warning shot, Taiwan is the main act, Pakistan is the backup dancer, and the real target is the rise of the BRICS world. Stay sharp, stay calm, and remember, in this game, the quiet moves decide the ending. And that is all for now. You're watching GNF. Have a wonderful Sunday.